Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a Premier League presentation. I'm Blaze, and we're going to be bringing you guys a game between Alliance and Team Dignitas. This is Game 2 in the Best of 3 series, the final match of the Season 4 seasonal matches. So, head-to-head, these two finishing out a Best of 3 series, but Alliance has a 1-up on Dignitas here. We'll have to see what Dignitas will bring to the table to change their fate, or if it's going to be a shutout, unfortunately, for them. Either way, I do have No Tail here. He's going to be co-casting it up with me. How's it going, man? Oh, shoot. I completely have you still muted. Let me do that real quick. And you are all set.
Yo, I'm doing good. Looking forward to the second game. From now, I actually didn't know there was UC server last game, but yeah, impressive game from Alliance, and I thought I was gonna see Earthshaker pulling ancients, but didn't get to see that game. But hopefully some new interesting stuff I haven't seen gonna be coming out this game.
Yeah. In light of the fact that they didn't really get much Ancient Pull action off, how do you feel about their movement with the Earthshaker and Ancient Apparition? You feel it was just a mistake, or?
I do think it's nice to see new kind of movement and lanes like this, and I do think it's something that's underrated. It's hard to pull off, but yeah, it's nice to see movement in general. They weren't just sticking to the lanes, but still would like to see the Ancient Pull happening, because I haven't seen it before in a competitive game. But maybe something new at this game. Hoping for the best. They decided to leave out Chen, by the way, when Alliance is on Dire, which I think is a scary thing to do. But let's see what they go with. Mag is in the pool. Maybe an S4 Mag. Yeah, I don't know. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, a lot of different options there. Looks like my stream might be having some issues. Shoot. I hope not, but no, it looks like it's stabilizing. Either way, so what we're looking at here, yeah, we have the gyrocopter pickup first for Dignitas is extremely flexible.
I hear lag coming out from your end.
Okay, might be a little bit of an internet issue, but hopefully that fixes itself in just a moment. And it looks like the stream's running fine, so hopefully you are as well. Either way, right now what we see, of course, is the IO and Batrider taken out for Alliance, the Lone Druid and Keeper Light taken out for Dignitas. So picking up this first pick Gyrocopter opens up a lot of options for Alliance. They, of course, don't have that Druid available, but instead pick up the Magnus and the Lifestealer, a great carry hero and a great initiator. So S4 gonna be picking this one up for himself.
Yeah, he is quite known for that mag, but you see Team Dignitas responding with a Rubik, which I think is a very nice response. And in this game, we do see Nex being picked up compared to last game. Oh, never mind. Yeah, they're going with the Nex, and Lone is banned, so we're gonna see an early pick up of Nex this game, and Darkseer being picked by Team Dignitas, which Alliance left or banned last game. So
yeah, I think it would be remiss not to be picking up the Darkseer. Of course, the Rubik, like I mentioned, is great against the Magnus. Pretty good to pick up like Rage TP and Infest and stuff like that as well. But right here, picking up the Darkseer allows them to do a couple different things. The Surge Gyrocopter is a lot more powerful in getting where he wants to be in the fights. He doesn't have the greatest attack range, so being in a position to set up his flat cannon onto everybody that he wants without having to worry about open wounds, slowing him down, and those kinds of things really, really helps out the pre-Black King Bar Gyrocopter. And along with that, of course, sets up great initiation. The Vacuum and Wall Replica is one of the most powerful initiation tools in the game, those two comboed together. So I really think it's going to be a strong showing for them in the mid game. As far as laning goes, they're probably going to run the Darkseer in the off lane. That generally means the Gyrocopter is going to be safe lane carry, with Rubik being the support for him, of course. But we have seen Dignitas run it a couple different ways. We've seen a lot of different teams run Gyrocopter in a solo mid situation if the appropriate timing calls for it. Kind of out of favor right now, but I definitely think that it's a flexible hero that they can do a lot with.
Yeah, yep. And well, I do think it's a lot more in Team Dignitas style, starting off with just some heavy AoE that's easier to start a fight with. I mean, they still kind of need some way to start the fight, but again, Alliance doesn't have nearly the amount of pushing power as they did last game. Not choosing to pick up a Chen, which I'm not sure. I thought they would always take this opportunity to pick it, but maybe they feel like they're gonna lose the 5-on-5 in this game since they already have a Darkseer Gyro combination, or expected the Darkseer pick, maybe. Not sure.
They just
But
always
this
pick
is
it against you, man. It's just like, no, we want it just so we don't have to see no tail
well,
picking it up.
they often run it on Dire though. It's very strong,
Sure.
but I understand why they might not want it this game. They're choosing to go with a very aggressive pickups. With these two pickups, you leave the options open as well to contest with, and there's just so many heroes that can solo short, and then most likely gonna be S4 Mag middle because I've almost only seen him play Mag, and Bulldog played it a while ago, but not anywhere in the past few weeks have I seen that. So probably a Mag middle. Option to contest with Lina Nax, I'd expect it. Because again, Rubik not the strongest, and Nax is really good against the Gyro, because you don't care about the Rocket Barrage. And yeah, then I wonder what they're gonna choose to go with for one-on-oneing supposedly a Darkseer offlane. There's a few options that are nice, but most obvious one that comes to mind for me is Shadow Fiend. But I've never seen Bulldog play Shadow Fiend, so
Yeah.
actually I'm not sure what's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's a little weird. We have seen teams like Cupad run Lifesteal as a solo himself, and Lifesteal versus Darkseer is no slouch either if you go for the Feast. A couple points of that pretty early on. But like you said, I think the combo is too powerful to ignore. Lifestealer and Lina in a aggressive tri-lane situation, throw in one good damage dealer to follow that up, and suddenly you have one of the best combos ever. We see the Chikiro banned out and the Leshrac. It makes a lot of sense in that situation. Is there any third hero that you think would offer too much control? Maybe the Shadow Demon or something like that?
I would prefer not. No, actually, Shadow Demon is a brilliant pick also against Gyro. But the thing is, you'd have to do it differently. Shadow Demon Lina is a strong combo. You just have to start with Disrupt, and then you can choose to follow up with Lina stun. And then afterwards, you do the wounds last, or you start with wounds and then do the Lina stun last. I'm guessing Lina stun right after would be the safer choice. And then if Rubik chooses to try and disrupt the Lina from going, then you just go with slow first. But yeah, it's Shadow Demon is a very good option. I initially thought bad of it, but now that they could definitely make it work. It would be a good asset to the tri-lane, but again, I'm very curious to see what hero Bulldog will be playing against that Darkseer offlane if they choose to contest.
Yeah, I mean, banning out Bulldog's Clockwork, that's not going to be really an option for them. Team Dignitas does have first pick here. Do you think just making sure that they have the Shadow Demon against the Lifestealer and don't have to deal with it in a tri-lane scenario, do you think it's actually a really good pickup for Dignitas as well, or is it just because they already have the setup from the Rubik, they don't really need the disruption?
I think it's very scary. It's not very commonly used, but it's something that we have tried ourselves. It's the Darkseer Clockwork combination. That's scary. One, if that happens once and you get vacuumed into Cog with wall there, it's a killer combo as well. Like, it's almost like a death sentence if you don't have any way to get out of it or have a BKB, and like almost instant death sentence. It's scary stuff, but not a bad ban, and more AoE coming out from Team Dignitas. Solid pick. It's good against the mag, so yeah, a lot more solid I feel from Team Dignitas this time around, but also very solid draft from Alliance at the moment.
There's the Shadow Demon.
There it is.
I feel smart.
Buddy.
But Queen of Pain coming on through. Snaking loves that hero. Really, really great Queen of Pain player, and the lane is not going to be a problem. Unless there's really good roaming coming out from Shadow Demon Lina, 1v1, Queen of Pain will always out-CS the Magnus unless there's some huge mistake coming into play. Because of the Shadow Strike harassment, the rune control, it's just far superior in that scenario. And then when it comes down to team fights, I would say that Magnus has more of a potential impact, but Queen of Pain finds it easier to make that work for her. It's just jumping on in. She has the blink already, and it's really easy to set up that. But following that up with an Enigma, as far as lanes go, do you think it's going to be a 2.5-1-1 where Gyrocopter and Rubik are kind of left out high and dry until Enigma hits 4?
Yeah, that's the only option I see. I don't think that putting a Darkseer Woods and Enigma off lane would be a smart choice, and I'm kind of surprised they think that Rubik Gyro will be able to stand that lane. I do think there's something else they're going to be doing, because that tri-lane is really scary, man. That's a very interesting pickup. That actually... Oh, no, so it's going to be the Bulldog Mag.
I think he's going to go safe lane, though, which would be a lot better for him.
Yeah, I do think that it's going to be a safe lane Mag and contesting tri-lane. Actually, it looks like Bulldog is off lane.
That's really weird to me. I don't see why they wouldn't go all three bottom. It seems like they'd have so much more presence.
But it's a very interesting... Dignitas had the option to maybe go with another carry instead of the Quap, like more semi-carry, but But yeah, I'm guessing they still do have the late game when you look at it. It's a gyro against a semi-carry Storm and Naix, but then there's the RP, you know? It doesn't matter if you get a BKB. There's the RP that that will always go through it, and that leaves you unable to hit.
Yeah.
Which says if they can then drop him in time. But yeah, it's just going to be a standard one guy sacrifice, trial in short, and for both teams.
Yeah.
And then Enigma Forest. Now Enigma Forest is going to be a lot better for them, I feel. But contesting against a Rubik Gyro with a Enigma Forest, they could have done Storm short, Mag middle, because Storm would do fine against Darkseer. Mag would lose to Pop, but they would still be winning that trial and denying Gyro farm and being able to pressure Enigma. I don't agree with it, but I'm not the one playing this game. Like, there's probably something else in mind for them. But
I mean, wherever these three go, they're going to be able to destroy the lane. If they can, if they don't shut down the Gyrocopter and Enigma by ganking in the jungle and on the bottom lane, then they might as well at least get some focus on Universe here. By locking him down, by delaying the extra points in vacuum, it makes it harder and harder for the Gyrocopter and Enigma to be effective.
This though, it's actually Naix against Quap with Lina, I think. Yeah. Trial in mid, Storm against the Darkseer. I like this so much more.
A trial lane mid? Oh, okay then. We definitely get something interesting here.
Probably going to be a Shadow Demon Lina roaming overall, and then just having the Naix against Quap, because I like that a lot more. Oh, they saw the Invis Shadow Demon.
Oh, that sucks. That Sentry Ward is very well timed coming out. They do disrupt it anyways. They're going on for it. Here comes, nope, no Light Strike Array, unfortunately. Just a little bit too far away. But yeah, they had the vision, and now they're actually going to Sentry Ward. Get 2 wards out of it. 1 Observer on the high ground, 1 Sentry in the river. And they are in a pretty good spot, but if Shadow Demon drops another Sentry, could nullify that advantage.
Yeah, but I definitely like this a lot more for them. It does mean that Darkseer gets to lane, even though if they would have tried lane top, that means Darkseer would have
going in open wounds now. There's a blink. Sorry.
No, but my point is that if they would have tried lane top with the next Shadow Demon Lina, Darkseer couldn't have gone close to creeps, and there's not really a forest to go to, since yeah, the Enigma's already there. They might try for this kill there. He's holding on to Disrupt onto Surge, hopefully gets popped.
Yeah, doesn't get it, but the Remnant will do a lot of damage here. Trying to go for the path blocking. They don't get it though, and Universe will be able to surge on to the east. Question is, will it be enough? But with this salve, it most certainly will.
Yeah, I definitely think...
Oh, actually, Ake going to be able to head him off. This could be pretty bad for Universe right here. He's actually going to go back up towards the north, doing a lot of damage to EGM. He doesn't have Disruption. He's going to have to try to get back up to safety. He does have his Disruption now, and they're going to actually turn it around. No! He actually takes 1 right-click and a little bit of Ion Shell damage. That was a mistake. He was trying to bait it a little bit longer, but unfortunately, gets dropped down instead.
It wouldn't even have mattered. He would have been able to stay there. Maybe it would have meant a return kill, but he definitely would have had the first blood in that case. And, like... Sneaking is actually able to play really aggressive since there's no Shadow Demon in this matchup. Lina is never going to be able to safely get a stun in. I really think Alliance could have laned this better than what they chose to go with, but for some reason they were afraid of something. I think
I think the Queen of Pain. Honestly, the Magnus could not hold against that Queen of Pain. We mentioned that before, and in this position, they could have tried to go Storm 1v1. I guess I don't know.
Denying the soul carries farm, I feel like would be worth it, having your Naix free farming more or less, and then a Storm doing pretty well against the Darkseer 1-on-1. I'm not sure what. Oh, they're going mid.
Okay, on mid lane we do see a lot of damage coming out. The blink will come on through, but not after taking a huge amount of damage. The open wounds, that like Strike Array, and of course the Dragon Slave coming on through to dish out a lot of damage. On the top lane is S4 and EGM. Storm Spirit Shadow Demon, not a combo that you see very often, but just trying to do what they can to limit how much Darkseer can find. Universe doesn't have a Soul Ring, so that in of itself is going to provide a lot, but with this Magic Stick, it's going to take him a while before he actually can feel confident about how he can sustain on the lane.
But I do feel like this is the worst response they could have had to a Darkseer offlane, almost. He's topping the gold farm, now Gyro took over, but he just has way more space than they could have let him. Like, they could have tri-lane top, as I said, made him stay level 1, while still, like, I don't know, Mag is not really getting too much bottom, although he's getting a few levels, but yeah, actually he chose to go with bottle when he had to go for Soul Ring, interesting, but yeah, they're sticking to this alliance. Oh, middle.
Yeah, middle lane, they're going to be able to do a lot to Snake King, but no, not enough to really... I mean, what they're doing right now is they're forcing a lot of damage, like Universe is taking a lot right here, but they're not going to get the kill. Actually, Electric Vortex keeps him in place for a while, but again, he still just gets out barely. He might be forced to Bottle Crow, but beyond that, they're holding the line. In this position here, Alliance forego their opportunity to just completely dominate one lane, and instead are putting a decent amount of pressure on every single one. I'm not sure if that means they win the lanes or they just break even, but at this stage, with the fact that there's only 1 kill on the board and it's in favor of Dignitas, it really feels like it's a different way around.
I thought Lordo was going to do something with the Invis. I still would favor the Dignitas. I think they're getting more done with a Quap against 2 and a Darkseer against 2 than they are 2 against 1. Like, those 2 heroes are doing quite well against the 2 heroes they're facing at the moment. While Gyro is the top farmer of the game. And it's the sole carry, so I think Dignitas are happy with what's going on right now. They do have 1 BKB disable of their own later on for Nyx and Storm, but they only have a Rubik
going on
lift.
in, snaking with the Anshell under the tower, but just going to drop off a Scream and does not want to go too deep, unfortunately.
But they don't have too much to deal with a Storm Dome for now. Only a Rubik lift would be the thing to stop the guy from going around doing his thing, but he's not having the greatest farm of his life up top, so...
Sure. What do you think about Snaking's Orchid timing? Do you think it'll be out at a relevant point in time where Storm's still going to have issues against him, or...?
Well, he is still farming less than the Storm is, but he's getting... Actually, they're also even on the XP. I figured that Sneaky was getting more. But by now it looks like it's going to be even. It all depends on how the mid-game is going to be like. I mean, Enigma hasn't even seen the game yet, and Alliance is not really waiting for anyone to shine. Maybe Bulldog later on, but Enigma's going to be able to help getting towers and just blowing ultimates off for solo kills at one point, so...
Yeah, I feel that the fact that Enigma wasn't pressured for his first 4 levels, where he's kind of at his weakest, where he only gets 1 stun from the Malefice, and of course he's just trying to use his idol as a jungle, in that position there, it feels like Alliance wasn't able to capitalize on that time window, and so instead Enigma's going to be a very significant factor in pretty much every single engagement that he chooses to go on into. If they smoke gank him, that might be a different story, but for right now, I think he's really getting what he wants, and now that he's up on top lane, they'll begin a little bit of that push pressure we were talking about.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of interesting transition to go all the way top before this 6 when he was not contested in the forest, but now just adds additional pressure, and now they're doing some movement around the map. Storm going towards mid to maybe pick up the second blood from them. Yeah.
Queen of Pain in a bad spot, used her blink already, and they're going to be able to get the stun off. Following up, Ake will be able to set up the damage to bring him down. Storm Spirit picking up a nice kill there, and although they might not be able to push a tier 1 tower as a result, they're still picking up one of the highest level heroes opponents in the game, and that's going to give them a lot better start than they were looking at.
I would be surprised if EGM makes it out of this alive.
Yeah,
they should know that he's like he didn't have anything on the...
Yeah, he's going to defensively disrupt, but do they have the TPs to really respond to this position? And Universe just going to dive, yeah. He doesn't have Surge up because he used it to get in the right position, but EGM in this jungle shouldn't be able to make it out. There's just really no way. I mean, if he Shadow Poisons, he can juke really hard, but he doesn't connect with it, and Universe walks away.
Wow, really?
He's really afraid that there's going to be retaliation, and I don't blame him.
A Storm TP.
Yeah, there's Ball Lightning is going on. They don't have vision, though, because the Shadow Poison didn't connect.
Nice call by Universe. I don't think he saw the TP, maybe the creep where he was in range, but he definitely heard it if his place was sound on, and then...
It actually hadn't happened until he was already gone, but he knew it was coming.
Yeah, you can hear it through fog, so maybe he heard it.
Oh, the different vector you're talking about, okay. Going to the east instead of the south. Good point, good point.
But nice push going on bottom now for Dignitas. So it will be a big thing if they manage to pick off this tower now, like for the entire team goal.
Yeah. I just feel that Dignitas is so darn strong with all their ultimates available. Fog gonna be picking up his spell steal pretty soon. They have the call down. The Darkseer wall will be up, not necessarily at 6, but maybe closer to 10 or 11. And then they already have the black hole. In this position here, Alliance is going to have a harder position to really maintain. They have a couple of really good abilities, but Magnus still isn't online yet. He doesn't have Arcane Boots, he doesn't have his ultimate, and the Tier 1 tower already falling.
Oh, they want to pick him up? Oh, no, they're gonna...
It seems a bit much, but with the telekinesis inside the cooldown, it's enough damage. Just a couple of flags, but a nice defensive disruption keeps him going. Are they going to go deep? Universe already surged on in. There's enough damage from Fog and from the Gyrocopter, able to burn them down. Open Wounds coming out from Loda onto Owie. There's the Storm Spirit to follow up, but a beautiful surge from Universe, keeping him going. Fog steals the ball, Lightning, and S4 just can't connect on Owie. Still wants him. Oh, so close. I think he'll be able to do it with the last right click. He does. just barely making it through. Good mana management, but now, oh, caught out by snaking. No slow just yet. Fogged into bad spot on the eastern end. 2 more right clicks, all they need. Are able to bring him down. Universe trying to close in on Admiral Bulldog, but right now actually focusing on Loda. Looking for the screen, but not just yet. Snaking didn't have the mana. Goes for the right clicks. Can they finish it? S4 has the Electric Vortex, though, and it looks like the Bulldog is out, and Snaking is not out just yet. The Phase Boots giving him enough movement speed to connect, and this has worked out really well for Alliance.
Yeah, I can't believe he managed to kill Gyro there. I was 100% that he was going to be fine, but middle.
Really, mid lane also taking some damage here. Way too sexy. In a bad spot from Ake. The Dragon Slave won't be enough to bring him down, though.
No, that could have been horrible if they didn't manage to kill the Gyro, because he just got a tower and 2 kills, and it looked like Dignitas actually had really good turnaround potential. Again, killing maybe an Ace or a Mag and a Storm or
something. Oh wow, so deep. They're going to go for this tier 1 tower. Another tower kill for Aoi. This is big. Oh, the actually takes it, but just to get out as quickly as possible. So that's a pretty risky position to be in. Yeah,
at the moment it's going way better for Dignitas, but you still haven't seen Storm next bomb, and that's not something you want to joke with. But then again, Dignitas has a pretty good lineup for just clustering up as 5 and going for towers, because they're also going to be able to have the mech advantage, since there's not really a mech hero on Alliance's team.
Yeah.
So I do think that Dignitas has a good opportunity to steamroll in this game. You see them already somewhat grouping up top, 3 heroes going there. Enigma might TP there, and not sure if Aoi wants to go reg before he goes top. I think so, but
yeah. Aoi is pretty close to a Shadow Blade, to be honest. I mean, it's still about 700 gold away, but closing in very, very quickly.
Tower top. But they're going for next bomb bottom. It would be a big mistake if Aoi would now choose to not go as 5 with the rest of the team, because then next bomb is not nearly as scary, since you can counter the whole slow thing from next with the surge as well, and black hole and so on. They need to watch out, but Aoi might fall into the trap by tipping alone bottom. Nah, he's wise and just decides to start walking there.
Yeah, either way, tier 1 has fallen up on the top lane, and now comes the TP. So there's going to be Snaking coming on in, gets Vortex, gets infested, the right clicks are there, and that is one very dead Queen of Pain.
I figured that Cop was just going to TP in and then blink right out again, and then let another guy TP in, and then Aoi would have been there, and then it would have been 3 people. And but yeah, I guess they just didn't expect it. I mean, that's an X bomb is so scary.
Yeah, and the skill build of S4, maxing out that Vortex, they knew they wanted a gank-oriented play. They didn't want to just rely on the ball lightning alone to do the damage, and in that time frame, they were able to lock down the Queen of Pain and throw it in the other direction. I mean, honestly, I was talking about the Queen of Pain picking up a Orchid, but it would work just as well in the Storm to counter out the Queen of Pain herself. We see ball lightning on in, going on, they get the Vortex, they are going to get a double RP, no! Big lift coming out of the Rubik, but he still drops it. Will the spell steal come? No. He way too sexy trying to walk away, but S4 not going to let him here either way. Oh, holy crap, he did live, but one more right click. Are they going to get it? No. 15 HP, he gets hit by the Shockwave, trying to go on in. He used the Soul Ring, and instead got dropped down. S4 going to take a lot of hits here. He has the TP scroll, but not enough mana, not enough HP, and he will fall himself. Either way, it's going to be a 3 for 2, but they did use that reverse polarity while the black hole still remains.
Yeah, if there would have been more people in place, I think that could have been better. Darkseer wasn't with them. I'm not entirely sure. I guess TP was on cooldown. He did have a haste bottle, but yeah, fight starting out with a Gyro being out of position or away from the rest. You can say everyone else was out of position, but yeah, main point was that Alliance were together, Dignitas weren't. They started fight with getting one guy for free, and then it's just take what you can get afterwards. They did pay with the Storm, but still, they're keeping the pressure up on Dignitas right now. Keeping them from getting that mecha, and they're still behind in towers though. Like, that's a big thing.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how the goal is for each team, but yeah, still not having the mech kind of hurts them.
Most definitely. They're not going to be able to team fight nearly as effectively without it. They have 2 great carriers for it, but it looks like Enigma wants to prioritize the BKB, whereas, of course, Darkseer is prioritizing that mech. In this position, the only thing to actually break through a BKB black hole is going to be that Magnus RP, and even then, the positioning is difficult. It's a really good radius, but nevertheless, you have to actually blink into that position, or you're never going to actually be able to interrupt it 100%.
Yep, and well, he is not too far off the blink, which is surprising. What's his stats like? He's 1-1-1, which is pretty good. Not been not been dying too much, even though...
Way too sexy finding out. Goes to the mouth. No, there is going to be a rage coming on through. And actually, they're pretty much in no man's land. They do have all 4 here, so they feel relatively confident, but you just can't engage completely blind. So good thing they dropped that ward in their tracks so they could know if there was going to be any follow-up.
Yep. I mean, team fight potential, I would say favors Dignitas, obviously, because Black Hole, Gyro, Quap, Darkseer, but Alliance has, they have the pickup potential being a lot stronger from them. Obvious reasons being the next bomb, but then there's Shadow Demon Lina, great combo, and Lina in general for pickoffs is great. And then Mag, never bad, but that's more for if there's a fight breaking out, then Dignitas can never really cluster up because they will pay dearly if they do.
Sure. Now, as far as GPM goes, we definitely see big advantage to the Gyrocopter, 445 over the 307 for the Nakes. But as far as items sets right now, we see a Shadow Blade on the Gyrocopter compared to an Armlet on Loda. Which one do you think actually is making more of an impact on the game at this stage?
Well, it all depends. Next bomb can be on Gyro, on the Gyro, and then it doesn't really matter what kind of items Gyro has unless they help him survive. Because Armlet helps him kill stuff, and Shadow Blade helps you maybe get away if you're not stunned or massively slowed, but they have those abilities, so he can't be out of position because then his items won't work if Storm Next Bomb manages to catch him. But if he's in good position, Gyro's items can do a lot more harm, obviously, since Black Cannon and stuff like that, and he's gonna be picking up a lot of farm now, clearing an ancient stack. So not even sure. BKB, I think he needs to go BKB to counter the whole Storm jumping him and Lina nukes and so on. But another option is working towards that Satanic and going tanky style and surviving the initial damage that way.
Sure. Interesting matchup between the Queen of Pain and the Storm Spirit. Although they didn't meet head-to-head in the mid lane, they're actually fairly on par with one another. S4 currently sitting at 323 GPM, and that's the exact same for Snake King's Queen of Pain. Now, Snake King did go for a couple more stat items like the Null Talismans, so as far as the Orca timing, it looks like S4 has the upper hand, but nevertheless, those are going to come out at relatively the same time. And do you think they're going to be prioritizing putting it on each other, or other initiation heroes like Magnus, Darkseer, Enigma?
Well, I do think both of them want that Orc kit. Oh, yeah, they want to catch... No, now they're going to get...
Oh, now coming on in. S4 has the Invis Rune. Very confident as a result. There is going to be a spell steal of the ball lighting, however. Way too sexy, taking a lot of hits here. Loda is going to drop him down before he can contribute anything. Lina did fall, but they picked up the Rubik in turn, so definitely good for Alliance. And without the Enigma, I really don't even know if they have the control to defend this Tier 1 tower.
It doesn't matter because he blew Black Hole just before dying.
Oh, he did? Holy crap. I saw him dropping down. I thought that was a Midnight Pulse, honestly. But no,
I was going to yell PGG, but then, yeah.
Ouch.
Mag in a pretty good position right now to get a single-man RP with Skewer, perhaps, but I do think they shouldn't be trying...
Coming on in. S4 jumping on to Aoi. There is going to be that Shadow Blade. There's the dust. Took a little time, though. They are still going to go right on top of him. And Admiral Bulldog lending in a little bit of extra damage. Sonic Wave does come on through. RP on Snake King alone. Are they going to be able to burst him? No. He blinks on away. The spell steal comes. It is RP. Fog picks up the RP, drops them together, and gets the RP. Oh, he infests inside a creep. Nice dodge by Loda. Nevertheless, the Magnus has fallen, and Loda should go down with him, trying to swing away at Aoi, but no amount of jukes will get him out of this situation.
I'm not sure if the buyback was needed for Gyro. He didn't really assist too much with anything, but it's a hard call to make, obviously. But yeah, I do feel like, again, misplaced by Dignitas, mostly position-wise. But then again, Alliance kind of overcommitted. But I don't know where the point was, like, because it was really hard to get out of the position where they were at behind the Tier 1 tower.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's again almost impossible.
Going in, S4 really wants to dish out this damage. Ball Lightning and Remnant doing work right here. Way 2 doesn't have much to offer, so he's going to get dropped down immediately. Same with Fog, with that damage coming out from the Rage Lifesteal. There's Laguna to finish it off. Universe does drop down the wall, but only hits on a couple, and now they're actually going to try to bring him down. Universe will fall. Looks like the remainder will be able to actually turn tail and run, though.
Again, he went without all the ultimates ready, but mostly it was the fact they got initiated on, and yeah, Alliance, I think they had... Well, they didn't have RP ready for that fight, but either way, good initiation.
Nice pick.
Lina got picked up.
Yeah, Snaking had a little bit of vision from the Observer Ward to the north, and Snaking was able to get a Blink stream off, and even though he doesn't have a TP scroll, he feels pretty confident about this situation. The Shadow Poison connecting, though, makes that much more difficult. But there's S4 coming on in. He will connect, and although it will be a long chase, I think that we'll be able to make this happen. There's going to be a level 11 HP coming out, but let's
you could have lived blinking upwards, but I'm not. Of course, you're being chased and you just want to live. You don't think about that. But that would have been funny if you decided to blink upwards, because then it could have ended up not being too bad, spending so many people's time.
Yeah.
So in the end, he kills Lina, but dies in the end. But
yeah, not favorable at all, and that's all about Shadow Poison connecting. Really, EGM has been throwing those out left and right, and a couple of them have really made it work where they can actually avoid jukes and just get the initiation on. And of course, on top of that, Snaking, going aggressive is great, but when you don't have a TP scroll to back it up, it's very difficult to get out of that kind of situation.
Yep. Storm only a recipe away from Orchid, and well, Quap is still one piece and the recipe away.
Sure.
But yeah, Vision kind of interesting for both teams. Alliance has a bit more since they have that top ward, but otherwise, other than that, they have one ward at top rune. Alliance has one at bottom rune. I do prefer Alliance's ward at bottom rune, and they have one at the entry of their forest. Now the one ward just expired for Dignitas, but yeah, teams might be starting to look towards Roche, more Dignitas than Alliance, because Alliance, if they want to do it, I don't think they really want to start on it, since they don't have any earn charges, there's not a mecha, so someone's going to be having to drop low if they decide to go bottom. This is not, what are they doing?
Yeah, two supports just kind of running around by themselves, regeneration of rune available, but more importantly, the smoke active. They have the black hole available once more, and they know that they're in the jungle. They just have to go out and find them, and indeed they have. EGM, no time to drop that disrupt. Instead, gets bursted too hard. Nice Light Strike will allow him to defensively disrupt, but still delaying the inevitable. Here comes that counter initiation. Come on, Bulldog, dropping the hammer. There goes the triple RP, but the black hole turns it right back around. Out with the flat cannon, the call down. Too much damage coming on out. Loda will be the sole survivor, and not for much longer. He will be dropped down as well. Oh, so painful. It was great timing for Bulldog, but even better for Way Too Sexy.
Yep. One team got punished by clustering up, and then the other team got punished by clustering up, and the team that last got clustered up was the one that paid, since, yeah, you can get stunned as much as you want, but if you're not taking follow-up damage, then, well, you're only stunned, so nice that Enigma didn't get caught in it and was able to turn it around, so that was definitely a big fight from Dignitas, but their ultimates are bigger and longer cooldown, and everything was used except for Quap ultimate, so Wall and Black Hole gonna be down. Sure. And maybe Alliance can get some retaliation after the respawns. They probably will just go for the next bump.
Yeah, so they can't follow up too much further. They might be able to bring down EGM just because he's in an atrocious position. They're actually going to be able to finish him off completely. But they can't go much further. Actually, S4 wants a piece of this. I don't know about it, but with the damage coming out, Fog at least will be forfeit. There is going to be an attempt to skewer on Way Too, but not going to find that opportunity. Instead, there's going to be some missiles dropped, and I really don't know who has a favorable position. With the Sonic Wave, it's Snaking, but he does get hit by the Lina stun, and instead gets dropped down herself, so that's very painful. Captain Bulldog, Admiral Bulldog, will be trying to run on out of there. Instead, runs right on into the grave. S4 should be fine. Same with Loda. But nevertheless, exchanging on turf that's just not theirs to take.
Yeah, I do feel like Alliance was overextending at that point. They should have known that Quap was alive and that he was probably not gonna go anywhere else but join them bottom. Like, they get a kill, they see them standing around like that, they probably felt the chase coming, so Quap was starting to join in, and it was just overextension. But I do think S4 went for pulling the gyro. Instead he pulled the Rubik, and Gyro got a nice turnaround, and he was a big part of that, the whole damage dealing business in that turnaround. So
I don't feel that you should give him that window of opportunity. If he's not afraid for his life, if he's able to turn around and dish out damage, it's just going to be bad. I mean, he doesn't have a Dominator yet, so it's not like he was gaining health based on it, but nevertheless, kind of planting his feet and dishing out the damage. Once their focus wasn't on the gyrocopter, they were pretty much on the run, because they couldn't take the fight where he can just deliver 6 flat cannon right clicks in that situation. So now, really, Dignitas showing some signs of life. In this position here, of course, they destroyed that team fight, and the goal graph only shows a little bit of a gain. Of course, the tower definitely contributes to that, but the experience graph is insane. That's just flying on up. They've just created this gigantic mountain that's going to be difficult for Alliance to come on up and surmount, really, in this position here. I mean, they have the tools to do it. They have the Orchid up on Storm. They have the Blink Dagger up on Magnus, but up against this BKB Enigma, it's going to be much easier said than done.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest pickup at the moment. Storm picked up an Orchid, which is obviously great, but now Alliance, again, trying to force a push. Nah, they're not going to do it. I thought they were going to force something middle, but they're looking for a pick off bottom. Lina Storm pretty much able to pick off any hero on Dignitas' side, but the Darkseer would be a bit of a close call, but yeah, Dignitas being wise now and staying together because that's where their power is at.
Yeah.
Being S5 and synergizing those spells.
Yeah, I have a question for you. You were talking about the BKB on Aoi, that was pretty much the one thing that he needed to secure his potential in team fight. He's picked up the casual Ogre Club, but now has been working towards that Butterfly, has the Eagle Song out. Do you think that's, I mean, obviously he got a huge amount of gold from those last 2 fights. Do you think he's going to be able to make it work for him, or if that's a bit of a mistake there?
I think it's a huge mistake. I think the safest thing would have been to get a BKB. Being the solo carry, now they can just go on him. Oh, yeah, now they're just going to go
there
on
we go.
him.
He's stunned out. He's orced it up. Way 2 coming on in. Looking for that black hole, but not finding it just yet. Aoi going to take a lot of hits.
If there was one Nake's Bomb or one Shadow Demon W spell, he would have been 100% dead. But that was not proper positioning from Alliance, I feel. But then again, it was overall a shaky positioning because they're split and also at risk of being initiated on by...
But Gyro at low HP,
really.
they're kind of looking at Roche, but no, I guess they just... oh, they're baiting it. They walked right on in under their noses, but here's the Infest. There's the smoke coming on out to meet and greet. They did get a little bit of vision from that Observer Ward, but they're not sure how close at hand. There's the Enigma, way too sexy. Bad spot for him. Won't get the BKB off. Instead, just gets incinerated. And now going on in, they get the reverse polarity on Universe, putting him right back in. They're going to be able to burst him down. So they can get some nice ultimate off, actually bursting down, but not finishing anybody off. There is going to be the buyback from Universe. Can he get back in time? Sneaking, dueling out with S4, but S4 comes out on top. He will be able to walk away from this. A lot of damage over time, though, and Aoi should clean it up. A couple Flat Cannon right clicks is enough to finish the job. Double kill for each of them. And now are kind of chasing down EGM. He only has regular boots of speed, so the Surge should be pretty much his undoing.
Well, the good thing about this pickup now, the Eagle Song pickup, is that in the fights, if Alliance chooses not to go for him, he is a lot more of a threat than he is if he would have BKB. But yeah, Alliance just needs to realize this and need to put a lot of pressure on him. Although, I mean, there is the scary factor, which is Enigma to go up against and going on a gyro like that. But I still feel like if they pull it off right, they next bomb the gyro, leave the nakes there, Storm blinks on out so he's not in black hole range, and then if Enigma tries to stop the nakes, there's just going to be a double man RP from Bulldog. I don't think Alliance once has been in good positioning for these fights, and if they were, I do think they could easily deal with this, but but yeah, a lot of positional errors in my opinion, but it's a tough game. It's a really tough game, so much to watch out for.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to say from an eagle eye perspective to make those kind of calls, but in this, intensity is high, and man, every single mistake could be very, very tiny. I mean, even this decision between these 3 initiators, I mean, Aoi doing the damage, Universe and Way Too Sexy falling on through with some great clumping and disable mechanisms. With that, I mean, yes, Aoi doesn't have a BKB, but like you said, if you go on one target, suddenly he's going to be able to do so much and output so much. So going on S4 will be able to burst down Fog is a great pick for them. They don't have to worry about any steals throughout the rest of the fight. Aoi getting forced down. There is the biggest RP. Way Too won't get the black hole. Will he? Going for it. He does get it with a little bit of HP 40. Just right click him down. There he falls, but so does Loda. So does everybody else. Aoi 2000 on 40 HP will drop to S4, but now he in turn falls to the snaking. And with that, that is going to be a buyback from S4. He wants to clean it up. Can he actually get anybody? Universe running away, but will be pulled back on into his own demise. Queen of Pain, the last woman standing, will blink away. But nevertheless, a very big back and forth, but yes, yet again, forcing out a buyback from the Storm Spirit.
I think Dignitas came out on top of that simply because Nags died, Storm died, Storm bought back. Gyro might have died, but he's still...
going on in. Snaking could be in a terrible spot. The Soul Catcher and the Orchid doing too much right there.
That was a greedy deny he went for. But, well, now I would favor Alliance since it basically was 5 for 4 overall. Even though Loda is the thing that's going to be needed to drop a gyro later on, there is more to it. But once he gets the BKB plus Satanic, then Loda is the man you're looking for to stop the gyro from killing everything else. And he died again. Has pretty good farm, but it's still like he's gonna need a lot to drop that gyro later on.
Yeah.
But yeah, big black hole from Enigma that fight. If it
40
wasn't for that,
HP.
then it would have been horrible for Dignitas.
And then the piss poor attack animation of Lena, she was just like, throw a fireball, finish it off. They did get him down in the end, but man, it did enough damage, and Loda didn't stand a chance in that. And so he's kind of falling behind. His levels are okay. He's level 17, despite dying being one of the first 3 heroes out of the 5 to fall. But nevertheless, he really needs some items. He does get his Aegis. That's going to be great. Desolator and Armlet is not too shabby, but when you consider the fact that he's up against a Butterfly, soon-to-be Dominator, Gyrocopter, it's just Loda can't compete directly with that until the Monkey King bar comes out.
Now he can. Now he can just get dropped off by Storm, and Gyro has to run away, and they can't blow too much on the Nakes. I think it was a big mistake leaving this Roche for them, but then again, they're going up against an RP without Enigma Black Hole, which, by the way, is freaking retarded that Black Hole is longer cooldown than this spell. Just now I have the chance to say it.
It's fair enough. It's a fair point to make.
But yeah, they wouldn't be able to really contest the Roche. It would have been extremely scary and could have easily ended up bad for them. But now, Alliance with an Aegis, I think they're going to win the next fight. If there's a fight with Aegis, I think Dignitas needs to trade.
Yeah. And that, on top of the fact that Black Hole is so much easier to steal, it really makes it difficult to actually justify an Enigma pickup in the common draft these days.
Well, they had the Rubik on their own,
exactly.
But it can work. It's a BKB disable, but I just compared it to ultimates, and you wonder why on earth is
going in. Loda's in a bad spot though. A single disable could lock him in place. They're actually trying to force out the rage with that missile, but Loda just gonna eat it up. And he does have his entire team at his back, all smoked up, throwing out the shadow poisons. So it's a tiny little. It's like a pawn on the front lines here, but he does have that Aegis at the least, so willing to at least take a few hits while he chows down on that tier 1 tower. Either way, lost a lot out of that, and unless they're forcing out the mechanism, I'm not sure if he really wants to be... Oh, just feast away, I guess it'll work out pretty well. There's an urn. Okay, I didn't know if they had an urn or not, but that definitely helps him if he wants to be on the front line there.
They had an urn before, but no charges.
Sure.
But yeah, they're still picking up the gem, and they're probably going to be running a lot of 5-man Dota with this Aegis, because yeah, that thing could easily win them the fight if they pull it off. They just need to drop the Nyx off at Gyro, make him run away, and...
There we go, jumping on in. Universe will take a ton of damage. Where's Way 2 seconds? Looking for the black hole. He gets it onto 2. There is no follow-up here. Aoi is ready with the right-click damage. Loda taking a lot of hits. He will fall. The Aegis on the ground. Ake gonna take a lot of hits here. Looking for Bulldog. He wants to make something happen, but the fight was over before it began. Loda getting 1v5'd right now. This is just not his fight to take. Bulldog walks away from it. Do you just feel he didn't have the point of initiation? Do you feel he didn't really have any ground to stand on there?
I don't know. It was a big mistake. Like the whole point of the Nyx bomb, like they didn't Nyx bomb first of all. They just started with it. But yeah, they were together. You know, both Storm and Nyx got caught in it. So it was a justified black hole. If it was only a Nyx, it wouldn't have been nearly as good. But yeah, they didn't need to be together there. And he just walked in and did it. So.
It's so rough, because Bulldog has that blink, but right now, most of Way Too Sexy's black holes have been centered around himself. And what that means is that you have to be like in literally the perfect position to actually reverse polarity stop that. Otherwise, you just consider it an unstoppable force, that once it drops, he either dies to physical damage, or you just let it go for the full 4-second duration, which is obviously hours when it comes to a Dota team fight.
But that's also a very tight spot to be fighting at. You see how it's kind of a choke point, and if Lina and Shadow Demon, they have one way to enter that fight, and if they choose to run in there, there's always the possibility to get vacuumed in.
He was in a great spot too. Like he was flanked up perfectly.
Yeah, and then you get vacuumed in, you're gonna die to Gyro, Ulti, and to Flag Cannon. It's like it's a tough spot to fight, and Mag can't run too close either. But in general, like that fight, like you shouldn't have Storm and Nyx being caught in a black hole. Definitely not before he has a BKB. I mean a blink on the Enigma.
Yeah. It's kind of been impressive how much Way Too Sexy has been able to accomplish without that Blink Dagger. Like I mentioned, his positioning in the trees was great. The Shadow Poison didn't scout him out, and suddenly he's able to get an RP on, a black hole on the 2 heroes that are most important. I mean, of course, Alliance kind of handed it to them on a silver platter, but nevertheless, finding those opportunities, he's just kind of come at me, bros. He's like, get over here, I'll give you a big dark hug, and with that, Alliance doesn't really have much of an answer for it until Admiral Bulldog really steps it up with his own polarities.
Yeah, I do like the mechanism pickup still from Bulldog. Just It's not
Sure.
too late to get it for him, but yeah, they have the options in this game to definitely win it. But Dignitas has the kind of lineup they like, and they're running it the way they want to, and yeah, this is the strength from them. There's so much AoE. You misstep, you can easily get punished. I mean, it's a lot more focused on the fights, obviously. Yes, not so much the pickoffs, but yeah. Now there's options. Cop picked up the Orchid just after she got so much gold from that fight. I don't think she had it before. And yeah, Gyro's next item is probably gonna be a Satanic, since we just had that Ogre Club lying in his inventory for that long.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I mean, he's been looking at it for a long time, and it could be a BKB. It always could be, but like you said, if he just goes for Satanic, he'll have an HP threshold that it will be. He'll take a lot of disables to take a lot of damage, but yeah, it's still magic damage. The Ball Lightning Infest combo will only do so much, and although they have some great disables, it won't be enough if he has that full Satanic.
It's gonna be the Shadow Demon Lina that's gonna be needed to bring him down. Like even after Satanic, that combo is gonna deal so much damage. So now he actually, oh what the hell? He already had Satanic.
Yeah, he has it on the freaking courier. It's just ridiculous.
Oh, okay. Well then he's quite.
He's pretty well set up.
Yeah, he's pretty well off at the moment. But if he gets, I will still get the BKB now, because there's easily 1500 magic damage coming out from Alliance easily with Amplified from Shadow Demon. Like yeah, that could drop him. So getting a BKB, and I think Aoi could take this game in the bag, put it in the bag, whatever you want to call it. And but yeah, Alliance not out of it yet, but Dignitas is doing the right thing right now, staying in good position. Tankiest guy in front and a lot of follow-up in the back, but they might actually go for the ambush. You see the S4 with BKB ready. He wants that Enigma.
Yeah, looking for an opportunity there. I mean, that definitely could be really good, especially in this position in the pit. I think you can Remnant for some good vision, but just goes on in, zipping on through, way too sexy. 100 HP, last right click comes through. Now going on Snaking, he is slowed up. No Orchid yet, though. And instead, they're just going to go zooming on across with the Ball Lightning. Is the damage enough? It is. And with that, now they're going to see the RP come down on Aoi. He may have a Satanic, he may have a Butterfly, but taking so many hits here, is it going to be enough? They get the defensive disruption on the lifestealer. Armlet toggle to keep him up. The stun comes out on Aoi, but Lotus still in the middle of everything. Vacuum back. Universe pulls Storm Spear back on into it as well, and despite an amazing start, Aoi is just too darn big. It's what a carry does, and he's doing it so darn fine right now. Nice disruption from EGM, but I don't think it's enough. There's the TP. Is there going to be the damage? Right click, no.
That's a use over. That's not a normal response time, but actually, that fight could have. Like, Enigma had not much time, like 1.5 seconds, but if he would have popped BKB and just ultimated on himself, like, because there was the mecha support coming from Darkseid, they would have held the lifestealer in place for at least 2 seconds before Storm would have killed him, if he didn't catch the Storm as well.
But as you're mentioning, the Black Hole cooldown, it's 190 seconds right now. Is it worth 2 seconds on the Nakes, is the question.
Yeah, in that fight, that would have been, that situation was like, I'm 99, it would have been good for them, but Aoi.
It's just hard to call in that situation. Obviously, it was do or die. You either put the Black Hole down and die immediately to the Lifestealer, or don't do so, and then you have the cooldown available for round 2. I think they're still okay with how it turned out, just because of how friggin' farmed Aoi is. And in this position, now they actually can directly contest things like Roche, which will be up in 2 minutes. I guess, you probably would have Black Hole by then anyways, but it's nice to still have it always available for a direct engagement.
Yep. He has the blink now, so he probably had it before, but that's just a whole nother level of scary as well. Shiva's picked up on Darkseer. The damage coming out of Alliance is just not enough right now. They have a lot of single target damage. You see it on the heroes. Lina ulti single target, Shadow Demon ulti single target, Soulcatcher single target, Nake's Storm Bomb is pretty much only single target. You go in, get 1 kill, and then you need to kill the important hero with these kind of heroes. They need to kill the Gyro off. He's the damage dealer. And if they don't kill him off, then there's no point in using all of the single target spells like on the other heroes, because in the end he's just gonna turn around and kill all of you.
Sure.
No MKB up on them yet, and
ugh, man, it's so long coming. That's another 1,300 gold until they can pick up Monkey King Bar, and until then, I honestly don't feel they can directly contest Aoi on the open battlefield. Maybe under their tier 3s, they certainly will try, but it's just so darn difficult in this position. They have Shivas and rank 3 while Replica to boot. It's going to be a long climb if they're going to be able to turn this back around. Another thing I want to mention, since we do have a little bit of extra time, I was talking about that Black Hole and saving it. By having that available, I think that means that Alliance still consider Way Too Sexy a very direct threat on the team fight. Every single fight to this point has been Storm Spirit trying to initiate on top of the Enigma. Why? Because he has a black hole, he's so darn scary. Without that available, they could actually go on Gyrocopter. They can make him pay for not having that BKB, but with the Enigma still being a threat, they have to change their priorities quite a bit, so...
Well, that was before he had Blink Dagger, in my opinion. If they would have went and done this whole thing before he got Blink Dagger and Enigma, now Enigma can stand back and always go if they go in Gyro, but before, they could go in Gyro. Mag just had to be in good position, and if Enigma tries to walk close to a black hole, both Gyro and Enigma is going to get RP'd. And that's going to be like disastrous fight for them, because there's nothing stopping the damage from coming after that.
Yeah.
Like, there's going to be enough time to drop the Gyro, or even both Enigma and Gyro, I would say. Because, yeah, then Quab and Darkseid could probably stop the follow-up from Shadim and Lina if they choose to go for that and not go for like Mag or Storm. But it's like, yeah, I think that's the way to go. Because either way, I don't see them winning a fight if they don't stop that Gyro.
Yeah. Roche is the next target.
You sold the damn Ogre Club. What a tease.
Oh, wow. Yeah, he's like, screw it. I don't even want that nonsense. Wasted. Yeah, who cares about Magic Immunity? But he'll probably go for Daedalus or MKB or something along those lines and dish out just that much more damage. And in this position here, Loda should have his MKB. Yeah, it's in the base, and he will have it for this next fight, but it might come too late. I mean, Aoi is already halfway done with Roshan, and they're in a great position to defend this. I mean, yes, Fog doesn't have any spells stolen just yet, but they're ready to counter-initiate.
Let's see that you're gonna see a steal coming. I don't know. I don't agree with the.
I mean, they do have vision with Storm Spirit.
Yeah, maybe I don't think he has vision where Ari was pulling Roshan. Oh,
wow. Ake's taking a lot of hits here. We do also see open wounds coming out. Fog does get picked off here, so that is very, very painful indeed. But up on the northern end, they bring down the Lina.
But they saw the storm now. Oh, they're actually going for it.
Going for it, trying to snipe it up. 700 HP. They take the Aegis away. They will give it to Loda here. Going on in. Way Too Sexy forced to BKB. They could actually stop this here. Way Too Sexy coming on through, just walking towards them, trying to find that opening. Snake King slowing down Bulldog. He's going to have to go for that big RP, turn around, and instead just gets vacuumed back on in, not getting anything out of that. But they still have 2 lives on Loda. They walk away with the Storm Spirit and the Life Slither, which is something I don't think they've been able to say for a single engagement to this point, 40 minutes into the game. Finally, they get away with 2 of their core heroes.
Yeah, I didn't agree with that, but yeah. I do think Alliance came out on top of this. If they do the whole Nakes bomb now and leave the Nakes again on Gyro, you just can't be together with Storm and Nakes, and then you get the full use of the Aegis, because they can't blow any BKB disable. Like, they can't blow their one BKB disable on it, and Nakes with an MKB is still gonna make a Gyro run away. He can't man up to that yet, even with Satanic, I feel. So that was a mistake from Dignitas' side, in my opinion. They didn't have to give it away, but done is done. Maybe a pickoff coming now. Yeah, looking for that opportunity. Vision on Aoi, though. EGM, I think he'll be able to get on out of here, but it gets vacuumed back, so might change that thought. There's the Shivas. There's the Initiation Universe. Really wants this one. Magnus is going to be up in a moment, but right now, Way Too dropping it on Loda. Dishing out the damage here. EGM will fall first. Loda, in a moment, does not have anything to infest to, and he will be stunned out. Aegis on the ground. S4 taking a lot of hits, but will ball away. There's that RP coming on through. Loda swing, and they get caught out big time. Big damage coming through. Aoi life-stealing Satanic, trying to do so much here. Loda dropping quickly, cannot infest, and instead takes a fall himself. Big damage coming out from Aoi, just showing how much he can output right here, but still not comfortable to take the tier 3 with the buyback coming out from the Nakes. He saw a gem and he was like, I want this, and then nope.
No.
But I take back what I said before. Apparently Gyro can just man up on a Nakes and kill 4 other people on top of it when he has Satanic ready. He doesn't care. Yeah, they have to save the lockdown for the Satanic timing, and until they get that second RP, until the refresher is finished, I don't think they can manage that. Yeah, one more item on Loda, aggressive, like a basher, and then Gyro needs to watch out a lot more, but I was surprised that Gyro just man-fighted the Nakes alone and was dropping Nakes along with all the other heroes, but that was just way too far of an overextension going there at that base. Storm came from behind and Cop blinked in offensively as well, used to blink offensively, and it was way too deep, like way too deep. Why would they go that deep when they gave up the Aegis? And I don't know why they feel so confident.
The gem's
it's
still
like
on the ground, actually. I think they'll leave it for shouting. Okay. But yeah, in that kind of position, until Magnus was up, they didn't have any ground to stand on, even if it was their own base. It wasn't... Dignitas still kind of had full control of that position, especially when Darkseer found that pickoff. I didn't think that necessarily they had the opportunity to go for it, but Universe, with that kind of movement speed, and of course with the Shivas, can lock them in, can tank it up, and just go on through with that large amount of damage output. So at this point, the silver lining is they do have MKB. A lifestealer can dish out a lot of damage, but he really can't take it up against a lifestealer who's lifestealing that hard directly. He has a day Dallas, 1 crit during Titanic. That's literally his entire health bar, no matter how injured he has been previously. So they need to get this second RP. They have the Oblivion Staff. They're like 300 and some odd gold away, just closer to 400 gold away from the recipe. And once that refresher comes out, I think Alliance have to get a double RP on Aoi during Satanic or bring him down before the second one ends.
Yeah, it's a lot about positioning in the following fights, but I would definitely favor Dignitas now that Aegis is gone for Lifestealer. Again, a mistake to give it to Nace, gave them the opportunity to make a fight like that happen. But yeah, the late game, Gyros, as good as he is late game, and with the potential in him, Mag almost has a refresher. And if he gets the right people in one ulti and he has the refresher, that fight is so gonna be Alliance's fight. Even though there's a Rubik, I mean, he needs to get the right people, and it's not easy. Like, there's Enigma to get. There's
walking right on into this could be big. Fog gets disrupted up. He disrupted himself, I believe? No, EGM did it for him. Either way, gets dropped down. Way 2 coming out with a big black hole, but on Lodo alone, there's a wall of replica, but nobody to vacuum on in. Either way, Lodo will fall. He already used that buyback and won't be able to jump back on into this. S4 trying to bring out Snake King, but he blinks to the east, and that's too far for S4 to go. He has the TP. He'll try to use it. Here is the damage. Oh, just walks away. Leaves him, even though I think 1 crit out of 2 right clicks could have finished the job. Either way, going on in, just going down for that tier 3, and although there are 2 reverse polarities, there's no nakes to do the follow-up damage. Look at this tower just get shredded.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, Soulcatcher didn't even hit. That is painful. That is really, really unfortunate. Soulcatcher is obviously such a big deal. It is short cooldown, but the timing, they have a minute left on the nakes. I don't really think that they can do anything about Aoi right in this position.
Oh, it was a good call to solo Black Hole the next there, because he is the only thing that's going to deal with this gyro.
Alright, going on S4, trying to burst down to Snake King, but gets Orchided instead. Aoi did get dropped down, get bursted nevertheless. There is big damage coming out. Bulldog dropping an RP on top of Way Too Sexy. Uses Skewer, but here comes that second RP. Can skewer them right back on into the base, but he's out of mana. No, he gets it anyways. Do they have the damage? Way Too Sexy about to drop with that Soul Catcher active. Universe Man Mode coming on through. He does have Ghost Scepter, but instead gets disrupted. He is going to actually just go on the run. 1 versus 3, even if they're low, is not something he wants to take. How did Gyrocopter get shredded so darn quickly?
9 Shadow Poison charges, and he just didn't care about
Wow, I didn't even catch that. That's something you don't generally look for, but holy crap is that damage. It's like exponentially increased.
Like 700 damage to him, and he had chances to lifesteal and dodge the Shadow Poisons, but he was...
greedy.
He thought he was untouchable, but this is the kind of thing that happens. You see, that's why he sold Ogre Crop as well. He's like, no one's going for me, I'm not dying, what do I need HP for? And then... guess it was the same with the Shadow Poison. He figured, I have Satanic ready, I'm just gonna lifesteal if anyone goes for me, but then boom, and he's gone. There's no lifesteal then.
Yeah, like half his life in a moment. That was just ridiculous. I'm not sure if he solo captured him with it, but yeah, he just kept on stacking them up, and anybody who actually does the legitimate math on Shadow Poison, it becomes a ridiculous spell. After like 5 stacks or something like that, it just is the most insane thing in the planet, but usually you don't see that happening. But in this case, just talking more and more about how amazing and how farmed Aoi is, he's thinking that himself. He's delivering those right clicks to the racks, but he is killable, especially with that in mind.
Yeah, I still don't know why he used the buyback there. Now they're in a really scary position. I don't know why they're forcing this so bad, because if he dies now, it could potentially mean... Well, actually looking at the tower, when is Roche up again?
It's going to be a little while, but still 2.5 minutes.
It's not the riskiest thing. They could end up in a rack since he's level 25, but not in 2 racks since the outer towers are still there. But it's still like, using a buyback like that puts you at a certain risk, but it's not the worst at the moment.
So they're forcing the issue. I kind of feel like they're really afraid of this double RP's potential if Way2 doesn't get the initiation he wants off. Honestly, it seems like his initiations pre-BKB were even better, but of course that has a lot to do with positioning from Alliance. Now we do see 3 Shadow Poison charges coming out through. They get the Light Strike Array. Snake King is ready to rumble, but first they're actually going to fall on out. They're afraid of the damage from the RP. The Black Hole whiffs as 4 jumps on out of it. They completely nullify that. They try to vacuum him in, but it's a little too late. Either way, the Orchid comes out of Magnus. He does not have buyback and just gets incinerated without a reverse polarity. I don't know if they can finish this. S4 is forced to buy back. The Rack's dropping very quickly. Where is the Nakes? Coming on in. He has the items he needs, but not the disables to make it work. S4 is trying to make something happen here, but they still lose the melee Racks. It seems small, considering it's a 49-minute game, but it's something they've been looking for a very long time.
Yeah, I don't know. That fight was theirs if Bulldog didn't get caught in that vacuum, I feel. Because double RP could have definitely turned it, because there's no black hole, obviously. And unfortunate that he got caught. There was no way out of it, and Dignitas knew that they had to drop him for his fight to go their way. First Rex falls, and it's a big deal in this game. Because there's no... It's a lot of time effort for Alliance to push out the big creep wave with these heroes. And not only that, you obviously have the gold and stuff, but that's also something I hate to deal with when you don't have an obvious hero that can push it out like efficiently. But yes, his game is able to go either way very easily.
This is rough.
No worse out for Dignitas at the moment, and
they
need to stay together, and they probably will. But then no buyback for Gyro. He's
minute and a half. He'll have it. Oh, he's got a Sacred Relic, dude.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's thinking about the Divine, but
yeah, I mean Sacred Relic itself is like, I mean it's not a full Divine obviously, but it's still a big chunk of damage, and what more does he need than raw right-click damage? But I don't think he wants to go for the full Divine until the Aegis comes out, and that's obviously something that they have to contest directly in just the next few seconds.
Yeah. I'm wondering what if they manage to get the Roche one way or another, if he's actually gonna sell the boots for the Divine, or if he's gonna sell the Shadow Blade. I mean for the Aegis.
Yeah, I feel that's Shadow Blade, I think. But oh my gosh, Bulldog! This is terrible. S4 has to come in now. He jumps in, does a lot of damage here. Fog only getting Vortex. Universe taking a lot of hits here, but the wall is down. They're doing a lot of damage. Loda right on top of Owie, but he gets the lifesteal. He's bursting him down. He finishes off Loda, and he's back to full HP. Bulldog gets 1 RP off, but he got such low life. It will not matter. This team fight breaking down so hard for them. They haven't even cast an ultimate, and now Ake gonna get stunned out, and Roche is theirs. Like, this was atrocious initiation for Alliance. They wanted it so bad, but when that vacuum again caught out Admiral Bulldog, they forced their hand, and they just weren't ready for it. Now, Roche falling, Owie, no reason not to pick up the Divine Rapier in just a moment. Sell the Shadow Blade, pick up the Aegis, but no. They go for the Queen of Pain Aegis. They go for the, I think, Rubik Cheese? No, they go for the...
This is over now, anyway.
I guess it doesn't matter, but shoot. Either way.
Yeah, there's 40 seconds to finish this racks, and then they're almost going to be able to just suicide on the last racks, because I think almost everyone has buyback. And but yeah, that fight was actually Alliances. If they would have started out with Nake's Bomb instead of Mag starting up by getting caught again. There's
Black Hole onto one. Loda gets pulled on out of it, but still bursted down before the armlet can be turned on. EGM will fall. There's a gem, and there's a good game call. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I really thought Alliance had a huge opportunity to make that work, but that vacuum coming from Darkseer.
That last fight. That was their fight, but
no,
unfortunate.
Just no. Very unfortunate. After all is said and done, Alliance get locked down, but it does, fortunately for us, give us an opportunity to see these teams once more in action. This is the best of 3 series, and with Dignitas taking this win here, we're going to Game 3.
Yep. Yeah, it was a bit sad to see. Like, I do think I'm not gonna say like Bulldog's Magnus is bad or anything, but I'm gonna say that S4's Mag is better. And I'm like, people who know the games that Starladder knows that I'm not one to talk about Mag, but the hero is very player bound. It's not an easy game, not an easy hero to play, and it was not an easy game to play him in. But the thing about him is that you need to be at the right position at the right time, and I think Bulldog was, too far out when he gets caught in the vacuums. But Yeah, I think that hero is very, very player bound, and you need to have experience with it. Otherwise, these things can happen.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, it was a nice strat. Like Dignitas got what they wanted, but it was a nice strat to see from Alliance. A lot of single target damage, and in this game, I think Dignitas have a more solid kind of lineup than Alliance. Like it's harder to pull Alliance's strats off because it's a lot about being at the right place at the right time for the pickoffs and so on. But very nice game nonetheless. Nice to see Gyro rape again. So yeah.
Yeah, sure enough, sure enough. Gyrocopter obviously shown his worth there. I've never actually seen an Abyssal Gyrocopter. Obviously, it was as the game was already over, so I guess not big impact, but it is kind of a surprising thing to see. Either way, they definitely earned their spot here. Moving on forward, pretty much like as a reminder, guys, for those that don't understand exactly what's going to happen, if Alliance win this, it's pretty simple. Alliance and Virtus.pro take the slots 3rd and 4th alongside Team Liquid and Fnatic in the playoffs of being finalists there. If Dignitas takes it, it's a lot more complex. We're going to go into a 4-man tiebreaker little group stage thing over the next 2 days. We have to figure out the schedule for that if that is the case. But yeah, right now, looks like it could be honestly anybody's game. Either way, thank you guys so much for tuning on in. Thank you, No-Tail, once again for co-casting up with me. Really, really fun to have you on.
No problem.
Okay, going on into the next one, guys. Game 3 coming in just a few